34-yard line with two tight ends. And here is a reverse. And going the other way is Hines Ward. And what a play. Don't know whether he ad-libbed it or not, but in any event, it worked beautifully for the Steelers. Ward picking up 12 yards and out of bounds at the 22 of the Redskins.
Dick, they had him dead to rights in the backfield. Mark Carrier ran right past him. They're going to try to see. Watch, Carrier sees it. He's going to come. Watch. He runs. He's anticipating that he's going this way. Hines Ward pulls a Curly Howard, just goes to the other side and picks up a big first down.
Opening moments of the second quarter. Pressure put on Stewart. He gets away from a defender. And there is Slash sliding for a first down just outside the 10-yard line.
2nd and 9. Stewart. Oh, a tough catch by Hines Ward. And Ward fumbles the ball. No, he doesn't. He hangs on and gets to the 40-yard line, and a flag is down. Back a little bit.
Three wide receivers on 3rd and 10. McMahon stumble. Ball pops loose. Picked up by Jason Gilden, and he will take it in for the touchdown. Point after. Just 27 seconds in. Sack number 9 for Porter. Touchdown for Gilden.
Davenport moves back to block. Roethlisberger pumps and throws to Davenport on the screen. 20-10. Down to the 2. What a good call.
At junior football, high school football, college football, when you're running with the ball, split the tacklers. Watch Najee Davenport go between tacklers. Between them again, and it almost gets him in the end zone.
18-yard play. 1st and goal, Pittsburgh, when we come back, second quarter.
More on one than the other. On 2nd and 8, Couch, nobody there in the backfield, and Gilden came firing through.
You call his name and he answers, and he just comes in unblocked. They slide the line. We talk about the presence of Joey Porter up top. You can see right here, but Gilden will come in from the bottom unblocked. No one is paying attention to Jason Gilden, a guy who led this team in sacks 1 year ago with 13 and a half.
Jackson, number 81 for Cleveland, is checked in as a 3rd receiver. On 3rd and 10, knocked up in the air and picked off. Intercepted by Kirkland. Jason Gilden got a piece.
Right here, here's where the rush comes. This is pressure defense. They're trying to run a screen. There's nobody out there to help him. The ball's tipped in the air, and big Levon Kirkland, 270 pounds at the linebacker position, comes up with the interception. Been playing with 2 bad ankles, but here it is. Jason Gilden just gets a paw up there and slots the ball. Then the defense converges around the ball. Gilden comes up with it.
From the 19-yard line, a problem, and McNair holds on to the ball. He and Eddie George from the 3. And they give it to Green, and Green gets tackled by Kendrell Bell, the rookie out of Georgia, the number 2 draft choice of the Steelers, who has started since opening day.
He is number 97. Nobody there, and boy, that's just a gift. Poor Mike Green is first
to get this play up. And they do. Stewart, pump fake, swarm coming defensively, set it up. Hines Ward, first down and more. Diving for the goal line, he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Pittsburgh extends the lead. Hines Ward making it happen after the catch.
Bettis, right side, big hole. Still on his feet. The bus is rumbling. And tripped up just inside the 5 by Brian Simmons, who saved the touchdown. 48 yards. Well, he only needed 54 to go over 10,000 yards. What a terrific first carry at Heinz Field. This is just a typical power lead play. It's called Bosch, the back, number 38, John Whitman, on the strong safety. Bettis breaks 1 tackle, and then there he goes. And you don't see long runs like this from Jerome but once a year.
3rd and 2. Bowler straight back, has the protection, fires, intercepted. Bowler has it picked off by Brent Alexander. Kendrell Bell making the play. And Bell with a big pick, welcoming Bowler to the NFL.
Here he is. There's Bell right there. Keep an eye on him. But what? Bowler is looking at his target all the way. He was looking at Todd Heap, and Kendrell Bell just read his mail. He said, oh, I can see where you want to go with the ball. Well, I'll go over there as well. And he beat Todd Heap to the...
After the penalty. They'll go with the draw. The pitch back. Maddox going deep. He's got Doring open. Doring has the ball, and he's still going. Chris Doring. Inside the 20, down to the 12-yard line. So a little trickery comes up big for the Steelers. Giving it to Hines Ward and let him run with it. Right out of the middle. Here they go with the flea flicker. Good time up front. Everybody's confused. And then Doring has to wait for it, but able to go up and get that football and then get what he can. Now, he doesn't have the speed to get into the end zone as Raynoch Thompson is able to track him down.
George outside, can't get loose. Kendrell Bell, that young linebacker, with another sure tackle.
Hasn't been 100% at all this season. The toe surgery, you can see him on the sideline, 3rd down and 10. And it is intercepted up at the 36-yard line, picked off by Brent Alexander.
What a scepter.
Little toss. Jerome runs as hard as anybody in the league to the 14-yard line.
10 at the 32-yard line. Jeff George in a 3-3 game getting some time and going deep down the sidelines, and the pass is intercepted by Dwayne Washington.
Being patient. Now you're going to try to do a double move on Washington. He didn't bite. You don't throw that ball. He's in the best possible position. So that one's on the quarterback. He had time. He tried to force the ball. It's not going to happen.
Irving Fryer was the intended receiver for the Redskins, and that is the 5th interception for Washington, who leads the team in that department.
With a lot of confidence, and that's rubbing off on his teammates. Bettis finds another big hole, and he's on his way at the 30. And finally pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line by John Howell. The bus making very few stops until he gets deep into the secondary here in the second half.
Well, the blocking by this offensive line, this is stunning. They are just, look at the crease in the middle. Both linebackers are split to both sides, right between right guard and right tackle. Marvel Smith, Rich Tilsky, Jeff Hardings, Alan Thanikin, Wayne Grady. That's just superb work. That is just great work.
29 more yards
next week. Here's Stewart on 2nd and goal, rolling right, throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Matt Cushing, the backup tight end.
For Parker, after he picked up a couple of quick first downs near midfield, and now the end around is Cedric Lawson. He's going to throw the ball. Beautiful throw, and it's complete to the 33-yard line to Hines Ward.
Antoine Randall who?
Cedric Wilson, yes.
That was Antoine Randall L's job here with Pittsburgh, to be the throwing threat, and this is with authority. You know, you don't often say the wide receiver really zipped that thing in there, but he zipped that thing in there like a quarterback.
21 yards.
And he was throwing to a quarterback. Hines Ward, guy that's been known to throw a few balls from time to time.
Now from the 47, Couch working quickly, 35 seconds left, and sacked again. Jason Gilden.
And that's Jason Gilden. We told you to watch out that Couch has to get rid of the football because Gase.
3rd and 18. Shotgun. Here's Grant. Again has the time. Guns it. Wide open. Bobby Shaw. And tripped up. Shaw was hoping it was a sprint to the end zone, but Earl Little may have saved a touchdown.
Quietest guy in the offense. No one expects him to get the ball. The first time against the Cleveland Browns, they double-covered Plexico Burress. 3 catches, 66 yards for Shaw. Here, he just splits the zone, finds a soft seam, runs across the field, and Kent Graham gets him the football. But Bobby Shaw is the type of guy that you want on your offense. Studies very hard. Not very big, not very fast, but he knows the offense. Very cerebral, very smart.
On the bench for the moment, and they give it to the backup to Bettis, and Zeraway, who's averaging over 5 yards a carry, shows you why.
Down in 14. And they dump it off to Parker. He's got entourage, including Faneca, who makes a nice block. And Parker's on the move in his first NFL start. He's down inside the 5.
Tackled by Lamont Thompson. A gallop of 48 yards, a career high.
Marvell Smith and Alan Faneca out in front. And then it's all speed and run by Willie Parker.
Brandon Bennett has checked in. Kitna, play action. Intercepted. Chad Scott. And Scott brings it back to the 29. And John Kitna is living, and he ought to be. That was play action. They kept in 9 guys to block, and 1 guy went out, Chad Scott. He was supposed to run a post against man coverage. They got the man coverage. Kitna threw the ball to the spot. Receiver didn't go there. For the Steelers now. On 3rd and 4, Cordell. Touchdown. Scored by Cordell Stewart. And Cordell Stewart has got about 30 pounds on that man, Mark Roman. And he puts the juke on him and goes right by.
Playing safe. The man known as Zeus on a 3rd and 5. Bowler. Connection made. Chester Taylor has no room to run. Dwayne Washington was like a blanket.
Maddox inside, enduring. Touchdown, Steelers. But a flag is down.
And that looks like it's going to be a late hit anyway on Kenny King.
Right.
Moot point.
Chris Doring, 6-year man out of Florida, gets his first touchdown of the day, of the year.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 72 of the defense. There's a touchdown. We'll penalize 15 on the kickoff.
Here's Dorian here. Now watch him go do a stop route right there. And then once the DB back there slips, it's over. He cannot make the break up on the ball. And then Tommy Maddox takes the roughing the passer hit by Kenny King. But you throw a timing route like that and the DB slips, forget it, it's over.
Ford is in motion. Roethlisberger. And going deep down the side, it's caught by Antoine Randall. Touchdown, a flag is down at the 47.
Go, but watch the body work by Antoine Randall. Adjusts to the ball. He adjusts. Thompson, the safety, can't adjust. Tank Williams falls down. Easy 6 points for the Steelers.
2nd and 1, 41-yard line, Roethlisberger. Parker. He bounces off Tank Williams, bounces off Lamont Thompson. Look at him fly down the sideline. Willie Parker. To the 14, Bullock on the tackle, 46-yard run. The 5, and this is the 9th consecutive run on this drive, and it produces a touchdown with a great lead block from Dan Frank. 5-yard touchdown run. The Steelers have scored 33 unanswered points.
Joe Zelenka is the snapper. And there is Barnhart with a good kick from the end zone, and Hank Poteet on the return. Rookie from the University of Pittsburgh has 1 man to beat. And he's going to make it for a touchdown. '53-yard punt return for a touchdown, and the Redskin woes on special teams continue.
3rd down and 31. Deep down the middle for Keyshawn. His fingertips and intercepted as Mike Logan came down with a carom.
Oh, that's, if you're Tampa Bay, you're going, how much can go wrong?
3rd and goal, off the play fake. Cordell rolling right, looking end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Cordell Stewart.
And then we've seen the passing game. Cordell Stewart has looked very good throwing the ball.
And he throws this one into the end zone for the touchdown to Hines Ward. Ward's 4th touchdown catch of the year.
The fake by Roethlisberger. Is he going to run it in? You bet. Listen to the Steeler reaction in Carolina.
See him come off the ball and engage the defensive line for Carolina. There was nobody in pursuit. The nearest man was Julius Peppers, and he was well.
Second down for the Steelers. Roethlisberger going to keep it. 25, 20, and ducks out of bounds. Another first down to the delight of these Steeler fans. It's not a long drive from Pittsburgh, and many making the trip. The vice is closing. Who wants him? Punt by Baker with Holmes, and it's blocked at the 10 and rolls to the 12. Picked up by Ike Taylor and out of bounds at the 9. Let's check the penalty flags. Were they offside?
I think it's going to be holding.
Defense or offense?
On the offensive player. Absolutely tackles. I mean, we're not even talking about kind of. James Harrison gets taken down.
Holding. Offense number 88. Penalty decline. First down.
Watch coming off the edge. Harrison 92. Grab that left arm right there. Spins him around. And it was unanimous. That was not only thrown by the referee, it was thrown by the side judge and thrown with authority. That was an excellent call and a great job by Harrison.
All time. Here's Peterson. He threw to Brent Alexander. Intercepted. Third pick of the day for the Steelers defense.
Right here. You're looking for your wide receiver to break one way and go deep on the pattern. He breaks it off right here, and there's no way they're even on the same page or even the same chapter in this series. And Brent Alexander's Johnny on the spot and comes up with the interception.
At the very least. And now a 2nd and 10 of the 16. Deep drop, Cordell throwing into coverage and caught by Ward. Hines Ward just wanted it more. Down at the 35-yard line, 21-yard pass play. Kevin Harding with a tackle.
And he is strictly heart and desire because this ball is up for grabs and thought for a minute it would be intercepted. But watch how he goes and fights the defensive back for the football. You can see he takes it away from Fernando Bryant, able to catch the ball in traffic. They can't even get him on the ground. Still continuing to make yards after the catch, and that's just by sheer will, heart, and determination. Hines Ward, his 9th catch of the day, and the first time he's gone over 100 yards receiving in his NFL career.
Second half, 10-0 Pittsburgh. On the blitz and a sack. Aaron Smith just wouldn't be denied.
And Kitna's a big, strong guy. You know, Kitna goes 217 pounds in one hand. Aaron Smith's got him by the jersey and drags him to the ground. Well, that's a King Kong play right there. So you're going nowhere, my friend.
Here comes Cincinnati on the blitz. Cordell keeps it in trouble. His great athletic ability to make something out of nothing. Yep.
2nd and goal. Maddox, play action to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Hines Ward.
We told you Gary Baxter, a safety, he can play cornerback. He's matched up in man-to-man coverage with Hines Ward. Ward gets behind him, and just what a nice touch throw by Tommy Maddox. He's an accurate thrower, and then the acrobatic.
Great field position, ball at about the 22-yard line. Maddox will pass right off the bat. Going right down the middle of the field for Ward again. Touchdown, Steelers. Tommy Maddox has found his groove, and he's also found Hines Ward in the middle of the field.
Yeah, we talked about exploiting the middle to open it up outside, and watch how Hines Ward is going to sift to the middle of the field, and then Tommy Maddox is just red hot and just throws an absolute strike for a touchdown.
On 3rd and 6. And it's an inside handoff, and making the tackle is Polamalu.
3rd down and 10. And once again, Jeff George looking for a target. And the pass up the middle, and it is intercepted. Chance Scott picks this one off. Albert Connell, who did not start the game, lost the ball in a little wrestling match with Scott, who gets the second pick of the game for the Steelers.
Scott, watch, Connell's going to come back to help him, and that's good. See, he's going to run his route. Now watch him redirect, and he's going to come back to help. The ball's there. That's just a wrestling match won by Scott. That's just a matter of hey, give me the ball. Who wants it more? Scott wanted it more, so he got it.
Looked like Connell had it, and Scott grabbed it away. So the 5th interception of the year for Scott, joining Washington. A passing situation with Bettis out of the game, 2nd and goal, but it's a running play to Huntley, who scores. There you have it. Bettis comes out, they hand off to Huntley, and the Steelers, taking advantage of the interception by Scott, have up their lead.
Flemister is in. Remember, they were running the inside traps, and here it comes again.
Stephen Davis up ahead, fumbles, and a loose ball, and recovered by the Steelers. So on the first play, Stephen Davis fumbles, forced by Dwayne Washington, and coughs it all
back immediately.
Stewart, little dump pass to Ma'afala. Stiff arms one man, blows by another. One man to beat. It's Todd Light, and Light gets him at the 24-yard line. A 54-yard gain on the pass from Stewart to Ma'afala.
Exotic smash mouth football, an exotic formation. This is their Bravo. 1, 2, 3. You don't see that very often. It gives an offense total balance, and there's an exotic play. Now it's smash mouth, blocking downfield by everyone, linemen, wide receivers, and then just hard, tough running by Fuamatu Ma'afala. And the other guy's the defensive zealot. And I think this...
From out at the 13. Roethlisberger just gets it away. It's a screen to Davenport. It worked before. It works again. Touchdown.
For Najee Davenport. Simmons is the last one out. Hardings, Faneca, Simmons, touchdown Davenport.
First down, Parker. Got some room now. Fast Willie looking for the end zone. He found it. 41 yards for Willie Parker as he jumps over the century mark again.
What'd I say about his speed? About 3/4 at the defensive line and linebackers, but if you let him get to the DBs, pro effort as a young tight end, opening that hole. But look at the body position and the body and the back angle. You hear about keeping your back flat. Look how that angle of Faneca's body perfectly isolates the defender and opens up that hole. And there is not a chance in the world Mike Minner.
Because he gets better each week, week in and week out.
Deep drop by Stewart. Throws and caught by Shaw.
Bobby Shaw staying with his route. Cordell Stewart, the big eyes looking downfield, focusing on his wide receiver and getting him the football.
Only the 5th complete pass for receiver look. On the give, Zaraway to the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. It is all Pittsburgh on NFL kickoff weekend. This is the NFL on CBS.
Here will only begin. And the handoff to Zaraway. And Zaraway is dragged down. And preventing the touchdown was Sam Shea.
Sorry for the Lions, even though they've made headlines on the Jay Leno show.
There's Amos Zaraway. He won't go down, finally. Tackled at the 41-yard line of the Lions, a 28-yard pickup.
Well, the Lions get caught in a little bit of a run blitz here. There's the blitzer coming off the edge. It's Barrett Green, and that gives Zaraway the corner. And Zaraway has the speed and the acceleration, and if you give him the corner, you're in big trouble.
Sean Rogers.
To beat this Steelers team that is such a complete team and that is playing at such a high level right now.
Tommy Maddox dives for the end zone. Touchdown.
Roethlisberger gets the play off. Play action. Swing pass. Oh, perfect feed to Kreider for the touchdown.
Roethlisberger, good protection, has time, goes to the end zone, and goes right to Hines Ward for the touchdown.
You just had the feeling after Hines Ward dropped that one in the end zone. And here's Hines Ward. He's the middle guy of the bunch. So you have him coming in, one going out, one going short. And there's always going to be, I think it's hard to man that, so you have to zone it. And if you return to catching the ball in the wind, is like a catcher catching a knuckleball.
Chase it to the backstop. Roethlisberger then goes deep, and that pass is somehow caught by Santonio Holmes. After Brandon McDonald had flashed in front of him, and Holmes comes down with a 47-yard reception.
That's the thing. They had to get a shot. That's a good time to take it. Santonio Holmes is running what we call a corner pattern. You start up, you start to the inside, then you come back to the outside. Ben Roethlisberger just gets it up in the air. Holmes gets way up in the air, and there's no defender there to do anything to Holmes.
Coming in on Roethlisberger, able to dance away. What a move by Big Ben, and reaching for the first and has it. Roethlisberger doing it with his feet this time. We're through one, 10-0 Cincinnati. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Beautiful kick by Baker. Holmes will try to latch onto this one and does it to 35, 40, 45. Wouldn't you figure this? Going to go all the way, isn't he? Unless the kicker can get him. Casey, he can't, or Baker, he can't. And Holmes goes from muffing a punt to turning one for a touchdown. Oh my! 65 yards.
The Gunners went high and went by Santonio Holmes, and he just gets some excellent blocks inside. Casey can't get a sniff.
Baker, actually, the punter, yeah.
Oh, Baker, yeah, he can't get a sniff. And no, that was just an excellent job of tight-roping down the sideline at the end. Almost went out of bounds there about the 12-yard line.
In the very first game of the season, when they lost 3 key players by injury in game 1. Long pass, Winky. Incomplete, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie, Anthony Smith, and he hot dogs it out of bounds. Out around the midfield, and some of the fans are, well, here come the Carolina Panthers taking exception to Anthony Smith's display. And look at Bill Cowher. You bet he's going to get right to that young man and let him know that that was improper.
The quarterbacks, I mean, they tell you that in almost every sport. 2nd and 9. And here is the bust, Jerome Bettis. And Jerome Bettis looks like he's in mid-season form as he handles the ball for the first time this season. And the whole bench gets up to salute him. 16 yards.
55 pounds.
2nd down and 6. Hines Ward makes the catch. Hits straight upfield. Picks up the first down of the 31.
Roethlisberger fires and hits Reed. A missed tackle. And Willie Reed is out across the 30. Kelly Jennings missed a tackle, and a 25-yard catch and run by Willie Reed.
Bills defense trying to hold first possession. Roethlisberger out of the gun. Tuck it and run. Roethlisberger's got a first down.
Now watch the pressure at the top. Aaron Schobel is a guy that gets pressure and then they flush him out. Now you have to contain Ben Roethlisberger. Everybody thinks of him as being a gunslinger. Big
Deion Grant. You know, Julian Peterson a year ago, those have been good pickups for them.
Alexander swallowed up in the backfield by Aaron Smith. They had Seneca Wallace in the lineup. They faked a reverse to him.
Now in there for Pittsburgh and a 4-receiver set for Roethlisberger. Steps on a pump. Roethlisberger looking. The patience pays off. Santonio Holmes out of bounds. He got nudged out by Dante Whitner. 27 yards on the catch and run.
all day to hold the ball for Ben Roethlisberger. Watch the work up front in the offensive line. Every guy is blocked. He has a chance to double clutch it and then find Santonio Holmes streaking underneath the coverage. And it starts with the offensive line, and then how about the patience of Ben Roethlisberger?
3rd down and 3. End zone, Miller, touchdown. Handoff to Davenport. Najee Davenport bouncing off tacklers. 1st down and more.
Well, just a good run here, not knowing that they'd have enough to pick up a 1st down, but see what they could get out of it. You know, Najee Davenport, just a big man once he gets out into space. You can see the block, you know, close because he didn't get to his front side. And I think that because Leroy Hill was engaged with Davenport, they let that one go.
Willie Parker left side to the edge. Fast Willie Parker's going to dive, and they're going to mark him in for the touchdown. It'll be interesting to see a replay of the end of this play. Mike Green on the stop. His hand got there, but did the ball.
As you well know, the ball now, they've had a change in the rule. The ball has to come across the goal line inside the pylon, which it did not.
And now a challenge flag has been thrown by Mike Holmgren. It's been a 10-plus minute drive here to start the 2nd half. Davenport again, and he's in this time.